The second question, like they kind of like interlock with each other. Do we each just want to like share our response sort of thing? Because it's like the major transformation journey, and then how does that resemble like that like 10-step process? Do we just want to do all in one for each person, or do we want to like bounce off each other sort of thing?
I'm good with whatever.
Yeah,
We could
same.
bounce off. It might have a better conversation flow. That's the only thing I think of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know this one probably won't be very long because it's got two questions.
These
Yeah.
two questions.
Um,
Well,
I'll start if y'all want me to read it quick. Identify a major transformation and you're thinking about some aspect of your life. What precipitated this transformation? What steps or stages did you go through in the process? What role, if any, did any other people, including perhaps educators, play in your transformation? How have you acted on your new perspective?
I guess I can kind of start on this. Like, I guess like a kind of like stage in my life where I could see like major transformation is like from high school to like college, which I think is like a very like common sort of like thing where it's like you kind of change from like thinking where high school to graduation is like the end goal to like where you're like your difference of like what is the future and what is like the end goal kind of like changes, and you can kind of see that like the thing that really like starts this transformation is like getting out of high school, and then you like fully are like, okay, so what do I do now? I'm in college, I'm working towards like this like goal, I've applied whatever. And like that kind of transformation starts in college where you're like working towards your major, and what kind of happens for like me and some other people is like you're doing like stuff in your major, right? And then you're like, I don't know if this is 100% what I want to do. So for me, I changed majors. And I think that kind of like happens with like figuring out what your goals are and how those goals have changed, like from high school to college. And then like the steps and stages for this would be like, hey, maybe it's like the clubs that you join, they aren't piquing your interest, or the classes that you're in, they're just a slog to get through, and you like just you can't absorb any of the information. And then like the role of other people would be like, I don't know, seeing how other people are like in like your major, right? So it's like if you're in that major, seeing why other people are there, maybe that'll help you figure out, is this the place for me? Is this the kind of environment I want to be in? And then for me, how I acted in that like new perspective is like coming from like high school, I was like, this is the end goal. Like the end goal is just like graduation. And then now coming into college, you're like, the end goal is not that anymore. The end goal is to like get a job, to be happy, to like find contentment, all that kind of stuff. Like it's like that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like that we were talking about earlier, where it's like the goalpost fully changes when you see like the full things that are open to you in the long term. I
Mhm.
feel like are really shown in college. But I don't know. That was my sort of thing. Sorry for the long spiel.
No, that's for sure. I think mine would be similar in that because I did come to school and then I ended up changing majors and like your as you grow your point of view changes, your perspective changes, your goals change. I personally had to feel my way through it and figure it out. I don't think there was any educator that influenced me to change my major, switch or change directions in life, but definitely a change in major.
Yeah, I changed my major too. I thought I wanted to be a vet coming into college, and then I
Same.
realized I hate I hate science. Like I don't even know what I was thinking, but I guess I don't even know if this counts as like an educator, but like I did an internship through UT Health, and I realized like I talked to like one of their medical sales reps there, and he was explaining like his jobs and stuff, and I was like, that's literally like the perfect job for me. So I kind of learned through him and like what he did and his experiences, like that's exactly how I want my life to be. So like I changed my major from whatever it was, like the health vet thing, whatever it was. I think how
Biomedical science. Was it
yeah,
biomedical?
whatever that was, yeah. And then
Mm.
now I'm like leadership, so it's definitely been a change, but it's been for the better.
Yeah, I was animal science and I went to HR.
Oh, I
Main
hated
campus
the
definitely
HR.
is different than West Campus, but here we
Yeah.
are.
West Campus
Yeah.
scares me. Every single time I go over there, it's just like the buildings are always under construction. I don't know.
Mhm.
I was gonna say changing major, but it it being faulting through. So something I would say is like not as major as changing a major, but changing the way I studied and prepared for tests and stuff. Like Will said, coming from high school to college, your views definitely changed a lot. And what I felt like I did in high school, like I couldn't replicate that in college as well. So like that being memorization and stuff. I definitely had to change. So like an example would be I'm changing from what I was learning. So I was trying to be more self-applicable and being able to apply what I learned rather than just memorizing basic like definitions and stuff. So that's something that definitely changed the way I thought. And it definitely helped me a lot. I wouldn't say any specific educators, just kind of following through tests and saying like what worked and what didn't, and kind of acting on that would be my new perspective, being able to study and actually be able to apply the information in like useful ways rather than just memorizing stuff that you forget a week after the test. So that's something that definitely changed throughout my
I
change.
think we can all relate to that, like coming into A&M, because if you get accepted, then obviously you had good grades in high school and all of those things. But when you come into A&M, it's very common to get a tutor or A plus and all that when you didn't have to in high school. You felt like you were dumb if you went to tutoring, right? So I think studying changed for all of us in that transition.
Yeah, I'd say for like my math class, like I really excelled in high school in math and thought it was super easy. And then coming here, I was like, I literally don't even know what math is. So I had to go to like
Hmm.
Teton for all those classes.
College
Yeah,
algebra is the devil.
it is. And then like there's this like change in college where you like kind of have to learn how to fail. Like low key, where it's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get like all A's. Like some people can pull it off 100%, but like it's just the proportions are way different. Like you are not gonna be able to like get an A 100 on every single thing. It's not, it's the ball game is completely different. And like just the ability to like study the exams, the material, it the shift from like high school learning to college learning, because like I feel like in high school the teachers are a little bit like, I feel like in college there is less of a like incentive for the professors to make sure that you are on the same pace, because
unless
like,
unless
you
it's
know what
a
I mean?
course like reviews,
Yes,
like to
but
grade their
like,
course at the end.
but I don't know. I feel like in high school I was like on the same pace as the teachers, where in some of these math classes here the guys just kind of like speaking words, but none of them actually like are like English, it feels like, but I don't know.
No.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's more of a
I would
humbling
agree.
experience. Definitely, like you said, Will, you have to learn to fail in some of the aspects. So
I know there are like these crazy geniuses that do excel in every subject, but I feel like we are given all of these other subjects to fail at least once and get ourselves together. And that's more their purpose than actually what we learn in them, probably.
100%. Learning to like, because I guess it's like the why like the engineers still have to take chemistry no matter like what thing they're going through and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. But I guess, are we ready to move on to like that second question, I guess, where it's like comparing it to like Maziero's 10-step
Yeah,
process or something like
Yeah.
that?
yeah.
Okay. I guess I could start it off where it's like the same like sort of process, like let's say changing a major and that sort of thing. The first thing is like disorienting dilemma, where you are challenging your assumptions, and then second one is reviewing your beliefs. So that kind of like goes hand in hand, where it's like for changing your majors, right? It's like your assumption would be like, hey, this is where my future is. This is what I believe I am like set in this world to do. I want to do this. And then you take a second, you're confronted with all these things, these challenges, and then you review those beliefs and you're like, hey, is this the right pathway for me? Like, I guess that's kind of like the first two for me, but I don't know how we want to really want to like do this one.
I think
Yeah,
this type thing like helps show out like how to get through a transformation in your life. So like that's kind of how I think we do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
mhm. And then we go to that third step, the critical assessment, and that's when we
Yeah.
start thinking about it.
Yeah. And then let's see. Let me just list them out. So it goes that, and then it goes to recognition of shared
Recognition.
transformation. So you see other people. Fifth is exploration, when you see the new roles or like a new experience or action. 6 is planning, how you're gonna get there. 7th is trying out that plan. 8th is like building your confidence in that new place, and then 9th is reintegration. And then let me see that 10th. Sorry, I did not write that down.
It says, and then provisional, right? Provisional trying of roles. Do y'all see that one? As eight,
Yes.
eighth, and then building a competent
Yes.
and then a
Reintegration.
reintegration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I feel like I don't know, step 6 would probably be your change of measure when you
mhm,
finally made that decision, your plan, course of action.
yeah.
Or
And
almost
then like
even, yeah, or almost even 5 as well. Because
yeah.
you're kind of
Yeah,
exploring for new
exponential.
stuff.
And then like
And then
7th is
seven,
like, oh no, you go.
well, acquisition of knowledge, well, that's like when you start gaining knowledge through your classes and stuff. So I feel like you've already made that move.
Yeah. I feel like it could also be like whenever you talk with an advisor, maybe about like, hey, these are the sort of things in this new major, and then like planning for the future would be like the trying out the new roles is like maybe going from like an advisor to like trying out some of the classes in the new major. And then as you keep going, you'll get from 9, then 10 to like acclimating with your new kind of self and that sort of thing.
I think a big one was like the degree plan for me. Because some of those classes and like some of the majors I was looking at, I was like, I know I'm gonna fail that. So I didn't even want to attempt to do some of the majors that I looked at.
Kim.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I
100%.
was out on that one.
Yeah. Mm.
I think like we've done 15 minutes. I think that if everybody's kind of on the same page or good with it, she's pretty understanding the fact that there's only 2 on here and all of our other ones are super long.
Yeah.
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 So if y'all are good, I'm good. And then
All right.
I'll upload this to YouTube and send it to the group, the little
Okay.
so that y'all can submit it.
Perfect.
Thank
Um,
you.
All right.
next week, how does Tuesday look for y'all? So we're not
I
getting to
can't do
Sunday again like this. And
Tuesdays.
no, Tuesday. Okay, Wednesday's the only day that I can't do Wednesdays, but I'm completely booked this upcoming Wednesday. So any other day next week, I'm pretty good with.
We
I can do like
Tuesdays and
any.
Thursdays I have classes.
Thursday, there was that Thursday time that we had beforehand, that 11, I forgot when exactly it was.
3.
I'm free pretty much anytime, so whenever it works best for y'all.
It was like Thursday, like 11:30, 11:30ish on Thursday.
11
Thursday.
would I think 11. I have 12:45 class. So I'm free.
Okay. 11:15 Thursday.
Yeah, sounds great. I'll change the thing on the link. That way we're good to go.
I'll
Yeah.
send that in the
I,
group chat, but
I think we all got scrambled last week and just looked up in here more because
no,
usually it's a
100%.
bit.
All right
Okay,
then.
sounds good. Thanks, y'all.
All right.
All right, you
That was
have a
good.
good one.